right, welcome. Today we're going to do a quick TRG Talks trade discussion. I'm Travis Smith, and we're here with Emily Reichelt. Between the two of us, we got decades of experience in cargo insurance. So those of you familiar with TRG, we do U.S. Customs bonds, we do cargo insurance, and we're going to specifically talk about how TRG shops for cargo insurance. So Emily and I, naturally, we're very familiar with this from the agency side, but we also understand, and we get this question often, what do you mean when you're shopping for cargo insurance? What does that mean to the client, to the insured? So Emily, when we say what it means to shop, what does that mean to you?
Yeah, absolutely. It can be a confusing topic, but just knowing that as the agency, TRG Marine takes on the role of gathering the details, um, finding your specific needs for marine cargo insurance, and then putting those needs with multiple markets. So this is going to be with the underwriters that we have relationships with and that absolutely know marine cargo insurance. So we are sending those to multiple markets on an individual basis based on those details that are provided along the way. And then we negotiate on your behalf, bring back options that are ultimately going to balance price, coverage, claim support, and anything kind of in between, any other needs that arise throughout the process.
And that's a big part of what we do. We collect that information. And Emily, as I've gone through the years, and I've spent almost all my professional career at TRG here at TRG and quoting kind of the TRG way. And I'm so familiar, we have our application and it changes from time to time, but we do a pretty comprehensive, we get those data points that is going to help us leverage and get the best coverage and pricing possible with the markets that we know. As I live in the insurance world, I often hear about other agents that maybe write a broad spectrum of coverages. And I'm always blown away by how much detail we ask for. And why do we do that? Why is that important? And how does that benefit the client?
It's a great benefit, and we really have to pay attention to those questions. If they're just asking simple things, what's your annual sales, and that's it, it's going to be blanket coverage. It's not going to be specific to your company and your supply chain, and which is ultimately what we want to protect. We have an application that's very specific to the needs of the underwriters and that are going to have no problems when it comes time for, the dreaded claim. That's what we want to avoid. The underwriter wants to know what risk they're taking. And that's why marine cargo insurance is such a niche specialty. And you got to find those niche underwriters that are experts in that field and taking on that risk. So all the questions are going to be very beneficial to, individualizing that coverage for you.
Okay, yeah, and I mean, often our clients are zeroing in on rate and premium, which is half of it, and the other half is that claim.
Mm-hmm.
And you mentioned if we don't have those details up front, one of those questions could unearth, an aspect of a client's shipping that maybe is otherwise excluded in an all-risk policy. So yeah, that's I hear about those agents. They just report the annual sales and get a quote. Which is something TRG really, we're not willing to go down that route because it exposes us to possibly quoting coverage that's inadequate.
Absolutely. Price is important to us as well. But ultimately, we want to balance that with coverage, claims availability, things like that, looking at problems down the line and avoiding any of those issues. We definitely do offer multiple options when we do this shopping process. When we're gathering details, we're going to place that application with several different markets. Usually we have a minimum of 2 to 3 quote options, and some of the harder to place commodities, we also have options for those. So we're looking specifically for coverage needs at the time, and of course balancing out premium, deductibles, limits. You want to make sure all your shipments are covered. All those details are important.
That's another really important aspect. We do run into clients where the commodity or the shipping practices are riskier or they're outside of the scope of what some markets want to work with, right? And in those scenarios, sometimes we're frankly just we're happy to get a quote. And we love those opportunities, those more difficult policies, coverages to cover, because we do have a good scope of markets that are aggressive in different areas, is what I find. And then,
Definitely.
yeah, Emily, and then, this maybe the more traditional shipper that doesn't have risks outside of normal appetite. How many quotes do we normally get for an account like that? Can they expect how many?
Yeah, usually about 2 or 3. We like to do 3, sometimes even more if the option is there. And when we get those back from underwriters, we'll work with terms and placement and things like that. So yeah, average is about 3.
Okay, yeah. And at the end of the day, some people might want, they might think blanketing the industry with quotes on cargo insurance is effective. And we've never taken that approach, have we? Is that, there, what's your experience with that?
Yeah, I mean, it's just you want to have the options. You want to have relationships with the underwriters. You want to have specific details, like I've mentioned, just to avoid problems in the future. We advocate for you when there's mid-policy changes, if there's ever any higher shipments over your limit, if there's things that need to be done. And that's why it's so specific to your business and protecting the supply chain. So we want those details and not the blanket coverage. Is in the marine insurance world definitely better for the company to be specific and avoid problems later.
Sure. And that's it. I mean, the relationship with the underwriter that can help us get through a difficult scenario or a claim or get the attention we need to quickly adjust the coverage if something comes up.
Absolutely.
So by working with that select group of underwriters that know cargo insurance, that have been in the cargo insurance world for years and years and years, and then they know TRG and they know what to expect from us with our applications, with our data, the type of communication with you and your team. And we feel that's what sets our clients up for the most success, rather than, just trying to get as many quotes as possible.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Well,
yeah. Finding that good balance.
Yeah.
I mean, finding the good balance. We definitely, that's the shipping or the shopping process in a whole. So.
Okay. Well, Emily, let's call it for now. Thanks for your time.
All right. Sounds good. Thanks, Travis.